Today is Monday, Parashat Vayishlach. In the parasha of this week, Yaakov Avinu has an encounter with the angel of Esav, and it's a struggle that has much meaning and a lot to learn from. First, why was Yaakov by himself? According to the commentators, he went back to pick up some flasks, some small flasks that he had left behind, and therefore he was in the darkness of night, and he went to get those flasks, and that's when he encountered the angel of Esav, who came aggressively towards him. The flasks were not so important, they were not so valuable, yet Yaakov Avinu was very careful not to leave him behind, not to be wasteful. And Chachamim tell us a righteous person like Yaakov, who earned everything that he earned, was in an honest way, values everything that Hashem has granted him. And even small flasks are items that could be used in the service of Hashem, and it's not something to be wasteful for. Very different than some of what we see in modern society today, where there is so much wastefulness, where there is so much where people do not fix almost anything, but rather on the opposite. Even if something still works, they want to go to the next thing that is claimed to be better, etc., and to get whatever is new, and whatever is even sometimes a few months or a year old is just wasted and thrown away. A lot of wastefulness in many different situations. So number one, Yaakov teaches us the concept of giving value and importance to everything that you own, and not to be wasteful. When he meets the angel of Esav, there is this incredible struggle between them. The angel of Esav, when he's not able to overcome Yaakov, but Yaakov actually is the one that is in a way winning in that struggle, still the angel of Esav hits Yaakov in the place of the sciatic nerve, and he injures him there, and that's where we have the Torah tells us, as a result of that, or coming as a mitzvah based on that struggle and that being hit in the sciatic nerve, is why we do not eat the gid hanasheh, which is the sciatic nerve in the animal. So you have a kosher animal, it's let's say a cow that was slaughtered, and the hind part of the cow nowadays is just not sold in the kosher butcher markets. That's where you have some of the tastiest meat in the animal. The filet mignon comes from there, but it's given away to non-Jewish meat dealers because the gid hanasheh is there, and it takes a lot of work to be able to get it out. You could take out the gid hanasheh, and carefully every little nerve that comes out from there, once you've cleared it out and taken it out, then of course you can eat the rest of the meat. But if it's not cleaned out properly, then that whole area is something that would be asur to eat. But it's symbolically referring to another idea, that even though Esav was not able to win against Yaakov, he hit him in the place of the yerech. The yerech in Hebrew means the thigh, and refers to the descendants of Yaakov, the younger people. The young people, the children, is where there is a vulnerability in terms of the influence of Esav and the negative aspects of even the popular culture. So that's one thing we have to be very careful, because that's where is a vulnerable spot that the angel of Esav was able to harm Yaakov, and that's in every generation. The education of the children should be given the most of importance, because that's where there could be a vulnerable spot. The older people have been exposed to previous generations, are more established in terms of their mind, in terms of their observance of mitzvot. The younger ones, and there's a lot to be concerned about in the modern day and age, the influence of TV programming, the influence of popular music, the influence of all sorts of negative values that are out there. to be very careful that our children are protected, and not the opposite, that we provide them the proper Jewish education, because that's, in terms of the community, just like with Yaakov was a vulnerable spot, that's also a vulnerable spot in every generation. This was an idea from the parasha of this week, Parashat Vayishlach, Monday of the parasha. Baruch Adonai le'olam, amen ve'amen.